privilege to be able to share with you today the experiences that I had with cancer, but I'd just like to, as it is a Cancer Council thing, just spread a little bit more about cancer, because Neil has indicated a few things.
Sorry.
But importantly, while we're seeing more and more people with cancer, and if you look at the Cancer Council website, there's over 100 different types of cancer. But one of the important things that I saw was that the death rate now has fallen by 24% over the last 2 decades. So that shows the benefit of the research and our medical technologies now. It's more and more people surviving. And Neil raised the question of how many people survive after 5 years. It's 66%. So there's a very good recovery times. So, but interestingly, what are the most common types of cancer? There are 5, and you would have seen them all. The most common is prostate cancer, which surprises me, but for the other 4, then you know them because there's all screening processes or publicity programs. There's breast cancer, bowel cancer, melanoma and lung cancers. So, and of the men, prostate cancer obviously is the top, followed by bowel, melanoma and lung. And for women, it's breast, bowel, melanoma and lung. So that's the most common types of cancer. But which cancer causes the most deaths? It's lung cancer. But for men, it's prostate cancer, and then bowel cancer. And for women, it's still lung cancer, breast cancer, and bowel cancer. So they're the 3 principal cancers which we're all aware of. So with that, I'll just go to my story. I've had prostate cancer, and I've had my prostate removed. For my history, I've had my PSA, and for those who may not know, the PSA is generally the test that men have to indicate whether or not they should be further investigated. So I had my PSA monitored at least since 2004, when it was 2.6. My prostate was also enlarged, and the PSA continued within the normal upper level for my age until around 2008. But by 2010 it had risen to 11, and my doctor thought we better do something, and he referred me to a urologist. So in January 2011 I had a biopsy of the prostate, and a biopsy means that they actually go in and take bits out of it. It's a most ungainly thing, and I'm rather glad it's done under anaesthetic, because your feet are hauled up so that they can get to where the prostate is. And they took 12 samples, like 12 drilling holes, and one showed evidence of cancer, and that was the first indication we had. But it was low grade, and in the way they measure it, the Gleason score, it was 3+3, so that's low grade, and that was good. But my surgeon at the time, who did it, wanted me to have surgery straight away. But for me, prostate cancer was always slow going, and at that stage, the thought was that men died with it rather than from it. So I then sought a second opinion. And I was also running a business at the time, and to have that sort of thing going on was not a right time. The second opinion confirmed that there was no need for me to rush. We could have a look at that, and we agreed to what was called active surveillance, and that was confirmed after I had another biopsy. And I learned with biopsies that you don't head out and ride a bike and hit bumps very quickly after the operation, because it lets you know that you've had something done down there. So again, that showed, and this time instead of having just 12, they took out about 43, and I wondered if that's the case, there mustn't be much left of prostate. But it showed then that there were 7 of those cores were had cancer, but fortunately again, it was low grade. So with the advice from the doctor, we went into an active surveillance program. And that involved regular PSA testing, about every 6 months, 6 monthly checkups, a biopsy done every 2 years, and during that time, a new procedure became available using MRI. Unfortunately, that wasn't part of Medicare, and so that was around about $500 a time. But what it did was to show the cancer in the prostate and give an indication of its severity. So that was one of the measures we were using just to monitor. But of course the PSA just continued to climb to around 17. And so in August 2015 I had a second MRI which showed the cancer becoming aggressive. The Gleason score had risen to 3+4, and the surgeon said, I think we now need to do something. So he recommended robotic surgery while the cancer was still contained within the prostate. He recommended that rather than radiology, even though there were some significant side effects from the surgery. But anyway, this operation was scheduled for the 25th of November 2015. My 70th birthday was on the 26th. Done in hospital. But within that intervening time, we had to prepare for it, and I had to go along to what was called an incontinence physiotherapist for pre-op exercises for your what are they?
Strengthen the muscles.
No.
To strengthen the muscles, yeah.
Yeah, strengthen muscles, but what's it called?
Pelvic floor.
Yeah, pelvic floors. Pelvic floors. This incontinence physio, I got advice through a support group, which is a very good support group in Sunshine Coast, called Sunshine Coast Prostate Support Group. And this incontinence physio turns out to be a woman, and the way she conducts her business is you have to stand in front of her and drop your backs. Then she showed you what to do and what to do for. But I think even ladies, if you have meet up with anybody, what they do with fingers and other things is just quite amazing down there. The lady, this physio addressed the prostate support group sometime later after a couple of years, and her opening statements was, it's all very nice for me to be able to come and see you all again. I may not recognise your faces, but if you drop your hands... So we had the operation, and principally there are two side effects. One is incontinence, and the other one is impotence, so impotence. But fortunately, for all men, don't always suffer these things with severity, and for impotence, other treatments are available. But in terms of the incontinence, I had to wear a bag for about a week after the operation because the urethra during the operation is cut and it's got to be able to be joined up again. And I had to wear nappies, go back to all that. I did not sleep through the night without waking up to rush to the toilet, because gradually your sensations come back again. You want to go, but there's no way that you can contain it. So we had to try and rush to get there. And I was getting a bit annoyed about that because for 9 weeks I had to wake up at night and rush. And the night before I was due to go and have my follow-up conference with the surgeon, and I was about to give him the rounds of his surgery because I was operating quite well until he got into me. I actually slept through the night. And he said, good, because that means you now will be able to, you will not be incontinent. It's all coming back. So that was a good piece of news for that. And it gradually improved. It took about 6 months before I could possibly think about not having any pads at all. And now it's about, I'd say it's about 99%, but we've got to be aware of areas, situations that might cause a problem, and they are caffeine, coffee or tea, alcohol and physical exertion, which is not surprising. But with that, it's all quite manageable. And I think after 8.5 years now, my PSA has been either 0.008 or unrecordable. And the doctor kindly said to me, well, even now, you're at Trish's level. And I said to him, well, she hasn't got a prostate either. So briefly then, in conclusion, it is a long process, or was it long, requiring patience and adaptations to life. I'm very grateful for Trish's support and those, certainly the congregation, who prayed for me. For you guys, I'd say see your doc. And for ladies, I'd say encourage him to go. But please don't nag, but encourage him to go. And it can strike at any time. And unfortunately, I've got a very good friend who's in his 80s, and he had not had a regular program. And his PSA was not all that high. It was certainly below 10, but it just moved up a few points. He went along, had a program, and found that he did have prostate cancer, and it had moved outside the prostate. And once that happens, it gets into bones and other places. And he now has had under a program of radiology and hormone therapy. Unfortunately, for men in hormone therapy, it's having large doses of estrogen. So he has night sweats, and his hair's growing back, and all that sort of thing, and it's the opposite of being what you expect a male to be. So it's sad, but I just urge men at any time, please go on and get checked out, and I'm very grateful for the position I am in now, enjoying pretty good health, and hopefully will continue. But, thank you, Nick.
It's probably a good time to say thank you to you, David. And I thought you might like a small plant.
Oh,
and hang on, we haven't finished. A little gift from the Adult Fellowship, and I've written you a little thank you note. So hang on, let me see if I can find it.
Sorry, I've got my phone turned off.
There you are. Thank you, David. I appreciate that. It's one thing to hear statistics, it's another thing to hear a personal story.
Yes.
Okay, so, David, thanks for being upfront, frank with us, and also giving us a laugh. Jenny, oh, yes, sir.
Just following on from what David said, how important it is. Can I just say one very quick thing?
Yeah.
Just one very quick mention after what David said, how important it is to get checked out. I have a friend a couple of years ago, unfortunately she's got 2 children at the same age as my children, and her partner had been bleeding out of his behind for about 3 years and was reluctant to get checked. And unfortunately he got diagnosed in 2020 with bowel cancer, and he wasn't even 40, and he died just before his 40th birthday, 4 months later. That's why and he's left 2 children and a partner behind. It's incredibly sad, but that's how important it is that no matter what age you are, if there's something wrong, to go and get checked out.
Good. Thank you, Joe.
Very true.
Who's needing another cuppa? This lady will always have a cuppa. Oh, Jill would like another one. Bev will look after you. And you can go round. Okay.
Judy, we playing the organ yesterday, I think, and it might be under the organ. That's scratches when it's scratched. So you went to the hall and then you went home. And when did you feel the scratch? I don't even feel the Oh, you want to play She's going to play 30 minutes worth. Is that all right? Sorry? She's going to play 30 minutes.
We'll work it around. We'll work it in. Which piece middle? Okay, we're not going to make you work all day, so what we're doing is we're going to listen to some pieces of music that Ruth will play on the keyboard. The first piece is the Teddy Bear's Picnic, so you go down to the woods there. And she told me that, you know, Christopher Robin was praying his prayers. I think, is that Winnie the Pooh? Yeah, thank you. Well, apparently when he prayed his prayers, he hung on to a teddy bear, and it's about that time that the fashion of having a teddy bear for a kid started. Well, she got one up there, look, and look, I can see somebody watching. Good on you. Have you got a teddy bear like that? No. Okay, so Teddy Bear's Picnic, and then a change of tone, Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. And some of you will know also, I think it's Mozart wrote for release. Beethoven again. No, I can. You can see I know more about singing hymns than I do about classical music, but Ruth loves classical music. And just give her a clap to say thank you, Ruth, for making music for us today. So we've got about 13 minutes, I think, of music. So if you'd like to, if you're going to talk, please keep your voices down. Let's enjoy. No. You play. Let's have the Teddy Bear's Picnic.